Hey, what's up, my friends? Chris Crone here, and we're talking today about how do you leverage your tax return to build wealth. And I got two things to say on this. I actually got a meeting going on right now with my CPA and also my CFO, and we're strategizing how do I make my tax return as big as possible. And to do that, you need to make sure you're getting all of the write-offs that you possibly can. So I'm going to talk to you about how you do that, but on top of that, I want to talk about what you actually do with your tax return, because most people are like, dude, let's go on a cruise. Like, let's go spend this. Let's go do something fun. And the reality is when you get a little windfall every year, take that money and go do something really productive with it, because most people aren't. What is the most tax advantaged way to structure your life? You have to get a really good, competent team. All right, check it out. Meeting of the minds. I'm here with Matt and Tim, and we are brainstorming, what do I do about my tax situation? Sorry, I know you guys didn't even know the camera was coming in here, but what are we doing right now, Tim?
Strategizing your overall picture, taking a look at how we can best allocate the various ventures that you're a part of and how to be tax efficient.
Yeah. And why is that important, Matt?
I'm trying to minimize your tax liability. So you make as much money as you can and pay as little taxes as
So
you can.
it's what they said. If you want to make as much money and keep as much of it as possible, you have to get a really good, competent team that can actually wade through all the different issues. It's amazing how many financial morons are out there that literally are not putting any effort or energy into how to actually keep more of the money that they're making. And so we're running through right now my lifestyle, some of my commercial buildings, my real estate, just my children, and some of the other expenses that I have, and asking, all right, what is the most tax advantaged way to structure your life? And so I'm super fortunate because I've got Matt and Tim who are putting their brain power on this, saying, all right, let's walk through these different issues, and what is the best and safest and most mature way to do this so that we can create maximum benefit, but having it done the right way. So check it out. I am basically trying to figure out and mastermind the best way to increase what I get back from the government, or in other words, pay as little as possible. And when you do that, what you're really doing is putting more money in your pocket. So in my situation, I'm paying maximum taxes, and there's two things you need to know first. Number one, you can decrease your taxes by owning real estate and by owning business. Think about it for a moment if you're not aware of this. The two biggest benefits actually come from business, and they also come from owning real estate. Real estate, because you get to depreciate an asset. So if I buy a home, then I get to depreciate it over 27 and a half years. And the reason why that's a benefit is if it's a $300,000 home, I get to write off almost $10,000 a year. And if I'm not bringing in $10,000 of income, there's leftover depreciation. So I get to pocket all that money, but then I also get to actually save more money in taxes from my other normal income. Business gives me write-offs like crazy. If I buy these chairs or I buy this table or things that I need for marketing, if it's for really anything at all, I get to actually write that off. And that's a huge benefit. Think about it. The car you drive, your cell phone, your home office, all of these things become tax deductions that ultimately account for you paying less taxes or actually getting a bigger tax return. So that's just the first thing for you to be aware of, is you need to be sitting down with professionals and saying, how do I maximize my tax situation fairly? I want to give the government everything owed to them, but everything that I can be aware of for doing my taxes fairly and actually paying less is more money that I actually want to keep. Now, when you actually get your tax return, what should you do? You should actually focus on investing it, right? I mean, saving and investing, the difference is unfortunately something that not a lot of people do, when in fact they really should be. So I'll tell you right now that when I got my very first tax return, I had just saved up all my money all year, and I bought my very first house. The basement got rented out and paid for my mortgage. I got to live for free. And when my first tax return came, I went to Cancun. I kid you not. And while that was fun and I started a tradition of play, I decided after that I wanted to put as much money for a short period of time into my investments. And that included my tax returns. After just 4.5 years of investing, guess what happened? I became financially free. To today I own commercial real estate almost every day. I'm buying real estate, in some of the hottest markets in the world. And so ultimately, you want to be smart with your money. You want to be wise with your money. And a lot of people don't know exactly how to do that. So to get that tax return, do something smart with it. By the way, if you want to know the smartest thing that you can do with it, in the link below, you have a chance to get a free copy of my book, Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. Let me show you what it looks like here in the studio. This book has created millionaires, it's created multimillionaires, and there's no reason why it can't do the exact same thing. This book, I always order extra copies. You can actually have this entirely for free. All I ask you to do is to cover the shipping so I can get it in the mail to you. But other than that, the $20 for the book itself is a gift from me to you so that you can learn how to take those tax filings and the other advice I've given you here and start putting that money towards earning really smart double-digit returns. So one of the things that I was doing here with Tim and Matt was advanced tax strategizing. Basically, I'm making more money than I've ever made before, but at the same time, that means that not only am I going to be paying more taxes, there's different ways of doing taxes. There's losses on different things or cost segregation on a commercial building I can take in this year versus the next year. And what we were doing is we were basically saying, all right, we have all of these write-offs. When do we want to use them? How do we want to use them? And there's a lot of room for, does it look like this or does it look like that? And that's why I recommend sitting down. There's a couple of cool things that kind of came out of today that I really liked. Being a YouTuber, I film a lot of my videos all over the world. And so we have this conversation. What's personal write-offs? What's business write-offs, right? If it's personal, you don't get to get a write-off on that. But in my world, a lot of my personal business is actually blended because I'm out there traveling with my kids and we're visiting the world and I'm making these videos and they're in these videos and these videos help get my message out to the world. It's an important part of my business. It helps me connect and communicate with you. And so you should be finding out in your life what is unique about your financial situation that ultimately will help maximize the appropriate tax write-offs. If you're like, well, Chris, I have a boring situation. I have a job, outside of sitting down H&R Block and doing the standard stuff, what could I do? You should start a business, and that business, if you don't have one, should be real estate. In fact, if you click the link below any of my videos and get involved with me, or you decide down the road to take one of my courses or come to one of my events, those are business expenses. Those are write-offs that you're using for your business. Now, I'm not a tax specialist or a tax advisor. You got to get that from them who are licensed. But purpose of this video is just helping you understand that there's a lot more that you don't know. And what you don't know can hurt you. Don't financially get hurt because of lack of knowledge. Get with the experts, learn what you need to know, and then take action on it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're not a subscriber, take care of that right now, and I will see you on the next video.